So, you're ready for your first lesson, huh? Alright then. You've had your look around my little abode. What catches your eye first? Ah, the cards. Good choice. I suppose it would be most prudent to start with the major arcana, that being the first 22 cards in the deck, numbered 0 through 21. I'm sure you've seen some of them, most of them even, over the course of your life, without ever really knowing what they mean. But why don't we take a moment and examine them, one by one, and we'll dive a little deeper into each of their meanings. But first, we have to pay the cards their proper respect. Here, I'll take these, and what I want you to do is lay out that beautiful purple velvet cloth you see there. Yes, that one. You got it. Good. Thank you. Now, I want you to take these 22 cards and shuffle them, just like you did earlier, except now we just have the major arcana. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just go until you're satisfied. Alright, you done? Good. Now, lay them face down upon the cloth, and we'll draw them one by one, and I'll teach you a little something. What do we have first? Ah, how fitting. The card you drew earlier, the Fool. As I told you then, it doesn't necessarily mean someone or something foolish. The Fool means the beginning of something, a new part of your life, a new endeavor, such as becoming a witch. It can also mean endless potential, the freedom to choose whatever you'd like to do. Ah, my favorite card. Number 8, Strength. Strength is a card that might seem a little contradictory. It doesn't truly mean raw, brute strength. What it means is compassion, resilience, the use of love instead of hate, the use of empathy instead of force. It is a beautiful card, one that you always love to see show up in a reading. Ah, now you have drawn number 17, the Star. The star has a few different meanings, and it's always sort of hard to nail down exactly which one they mean, but in general what it means is contentment, a renewal of hope or optimism. Of course, depending on who you ask, it can also be about loss or perhaps abandonment, but it could just as easily mean bright prospects. Ah, number 21, the World. The World is about fulfillment in oneself or actions, feeling complete, feeling triumphant. It could signify the end of a great work. It could signify the end of your training, for instance. Ah, number 4, the Emperor. The Emperor is all about authority, It represents stability, government, leadership, influence, and of course the downsides to those being control, boundaries, and of course people who hold power. How fitting. Number 3, the Empress. The Empress, on the other hand, is a card about creativity. And it's about the opposite of the Emperor. No power, no control. It's about passion and comfort and the maternal side of things, you know? The comfort, the caretaking. Number 9, the Hermit. The Hermit is all about finding answers within oneself. Seeking truth, seeking elucidation, and potentially even receiving advice, but knowing that the true wisdom will always lie within yourself as well. Number 5, the Hierophant. That is a card that represents tradition. It represents orthodox religion, morals, dogma, conformity, and sometimes it's been said to represent higher education, but that's only been a later addition. 11, Justice. As you might expect, Justice is a card about balance, fairness, accepting the way things are, and being impartial about them. Ah, 16, the Tower. The Tower is a card all about destruction, catastrophe, downfall. But another reading would suggest that it simply means a sudden dramatic change. It could be a lesson. It could be a recognition of truth. We have number 15, the Devil. Not necessarily as bad as it sounds, but it does mean indulgence. Instant gratification, the material pleasures, you know, of the body, of the world. Number 14, Temperance. Temperance, like Justice, is about balance, but in this sense, Temperance is about internal balance. Figuring out exactly what it is that's unbalanced about yourself and righting it. Nothing to excess, and everything within its limits. Number 13, Death. Again, like the Devil, not necessarily as bad as it sounds. Death is a card that represents change. It can be any form of change, good or bad. It could also mean difficult times or a trial ahead of you, but at the end of the day, it simply means change. Number 12, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man typically symbolizes sacrifice, usually self-sacrifice, and often to one's own detriment. But it also can tell you that now might be the time to try to find a new perspective on things. Number 7, the Chariot. The Chariot ostensibly means success, victory, triumph over anything that might be in front of you. If you draw the Chariot in a reading, it is always a good sign that your trials ahead will be overcome. Number 6, the Lovers. As you might expect, the Lovers is all about passion and love and marriage and even just friendship. It can be about duality as well. As you can see, the two figures on the front are separated, and the card seems to be implying that there's a decision to be made, and usually that decision is about love. Number 2, my patron card, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is all about intuition and using your own judgment to meditate on what life is trying to tell you. Tap into the wisdom that you don't even know that you have, and look within. Number 1, the Magician. The Magician is a card about power, about inner power. It tells you you have strength and gifts that you have no idea that you have, and it encourages you to manifest them into reality. Number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel showing up usually implies fate, destiny. Whether you're experiencing the good or the bad of that, it's very much the card to tell you to control what you can and accept what you cannot. Number 20, Judgment. Judgment is a card about awakening, an inner awakening, learning an important lesson perhaps, being conscious of oneself. We have number 19, the Sun. The Sun is all about success, glory, accomplishment, material happiness, contentment. It's generally a card of overwhelming positives. And that just leaves the one last card, the Moon, number 18. The Moon, as much as it is beautiful, represents anxiety, the hidden terrors that we know nothing about, occult forces, potential for calamity, secrets and deceptions. Now, you've drawn and learned about all 22 of the major arcana. Perhaps next time we'll dive a little bit deeper into the minor arcana. There are 4 suites of those, which means we'll have quite a lot to go through, but if you're truly dedicated to becoming a witch, then I believe in your ability to retain the information and learn. Becoming a witch is much less about one's ability to master, and much more about one's ability to reflect and grow. And I believe you'll find that to be the case over the course of your training.